So to begin, set the scene in Eugene prior to the jogging boom.
It was not actually referred to as TrackTown USA, but it was a track community.
Even back then, the Hayward stands were filled.
But the average ordinary citizen was not out jogging at all.
It catches me sometimes, and I wonder, how did this all work?
It would have been February of 63 that Bowerman had come back from New Zealand, and Bowerman had been introduced to jogging there by Arthur Lydiard. The story goes that Bowerman was out for a run with one of Lydiard's group, and some old guys kind of crushed Bowerman.
He got down there and he found out Arthur Lydiard ran him to death. He came back and said, boy, you got to get fit. And so that's when he decided that he was going to have to do some jogging himself, which he hadn't done a lot.
He made an announcement that he was going to talk about jogging in February of 63, and people were supposed to meet on a Sunday at that practice track.
I distinctly remember my dad sitting across the kitchen table with the register guard reading and said, listen to this. And he read the story about Bill Bowerman bringing this idea of jogging to the community.
And so they they had published, hey, free, come out to the Hayward field and we'll give you a little physical and we'll see if you're ready and we'll have you go through a little bit of a jogging program. And that first night, I think we had 150 people show up.
Kenny Moore was my roommate, actually. Kenny and I were up in our room looking out over the practice track, and we just kept seeing people coming and coming and coming. And guessing roughly maybe a couple of 200 people at least showed up. The next weekend, I think they had over 500 people, and it just kind of kept going. He then got together with Dr. Harris here in town, and they started the more formal jogging program.
This black book was the original jogging book that Bill had. For 12 weeks of workouts, he gave you a weekly workout, 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. One page to give you a yearly workout schedule. And this is the kind of workout schedule he gave me. I mean, I actually got his originals on this.
Bowerman is the guy that coined the phrase, if you have a body, you're an athlete. And so what he was teaching the citizens of Eugene is these training principles that he used on his Olympic athletes transferred well to everyday citizens that just wanted to exercise in a pleasant way to gain the health benefits and the social benefits of running.
We had a lot of people come out who were just townspeople. I remember a guy came out as an attorney. There's another guy that came out as a dentist. There are several people that came out and ended up changing their lives.
They became more involved and supportive of the track and field program because they knew the runners. They saw them during our jogging groups. They got to know us personally.
One of the things that Bowerman is noted for was wanting to be called a teacher more than a coach. But I read something yesterday that I thought was even a better word. He was an advocate for community.
We have to go back and understand that Bill Bowerman believed he was a member of the community. He was extremely loyal Oregonian.
He had a lot of connections, with the business community. Did a lot of stuff with the school systems, the officials, a lot of officials at track meets and stuff. So I think people were really connected.
I mean, he had the governor of Oregon, Mark Hatfield, come out and be a javelin catcher. He had Les Anderson, mayor of Eugene, was a high jumping official. He had doctors, lawyers, florists, construction guys, a lot of mill people, a lot of people from the lumber industry loved him, and he loved them. He announced that he was going to have a twilight meet on a Monday, and on Thursday night at the track meet, there were about 10,000 people that showed up.
the excitement of the people around me, I think, actually modified the way my brain actually heard that information. It made it exciting to remember these names of Marty LaQuarrie and Frank Shorter and Jim Ryan. At 6 years old, I don't remember anybody's name. I guess I knew George Washington's name, and but I knew these great runners at 6, 7 years old for some reason, and they were embedded in my brain.
When we moved to Eugene for my wife's athletic career, I was shocked, honestly, at how friendly the community was towards runners, which was not the norm in those days. Cars actually slowing down or stopping to allow runners to cross the street, people waving to you when you're out running.
We're involved. This is part of us. We can identify with the runner. We can identify with the coaches. They can identify with us. And I think that's a unique aspect of this sport and why it can be the nexus of growing community.
I see a very clear continuation of what Bowerman's original intent was. If you look at the demographics of running today, it's exactly what Bowerman started with his jogging classes. He brought it to the ordinary people.
What happened when Bowerman was here is he understood that running on Hayward was only part of the story. So he took that Hayward magic into the community, and he actually caused that magic then to come back to Hayward Field. What we really want to do is we want to build the community.
One of the things Bill Bowerman used to say is that if you get something out of a sport, you got to give back.
We want to build a running community. We want everybody in this town to know that they are part of TrackTown USA, that this is the running capital of the United States, if not the world, and it can be.